you've got to have the position now. Because if I'm speaking at Google, right, to a large group who has no idea what Kangen is, but you guys do, and you leverage yourself now, everything changes next year. Okay? So how is Google working? We're going to help you through that right now. I want everybody to get their phone out, put it on the Safari, if you want to use that search engine. We're going to do this walkthrough. This is going to take us 2 minutes. And I want to show you how to search. Okay? Remember, I'm at Google, so it's important you guys understand how does Google search. Maybe it's more important to understand how do doctors search. So go to Google, but don't type in Google, type in Google Scholar. Type it in. Tell me when you're there. Tony, are you doing that?
Yes.
Yep, it's scholar.google.com.
So you'll just type into the search engine, Google Scholar. Then when it opens, hit Google Scholar. Okay? So now you're in search engine. You're not in Google's search engine, you're in Google Scholar search engine. There's a huge difference. In the Google Scholar search engine, you're looking at peer-reviewed information. If you go to Google and search, you're not looking at peer-reviewed information. You're looking at ad text. People can purchase, put their name on there. People can fake news and stick stuff on there. But in the peer-reviewed Google Scholar engine, you're looking at information that others look at that are in the same peer groups. So you tend not to embarrass yourself, right? So that's why you're in Google Scholar right now. All right, is everybody in it? Google Scholar. Okay, let's type in some words just for fun. Put in ERW. That's electrolyzed reduced water. ERW, and then just put the word in diabetes. So you're in Google Scholar, you're in that search engine, now put in ERW, diabetes. What comes up? What's the very first title? Tony, do you have it?
Antioxidative water improves diabetes.
What? Are you kidding me? The very first title, the top search, listen to this, in peer-reviewed articles. Is that one? Now again, the search is not based on ads, and it's not based on fake news. These are peer-reviewed articles, which physicians will look at, including many of my friends around the world. And if I say, hey guys, look at ERW diabetes, they call me back and said, whoa, what's it say? Electrolyzed water reduces what? Diabetes.
That type 1 and type 2.
Is that a good article? Yes. So I'm saying this to you right now. We heard earlier information about where was the study done, what city is Dr. Horace Stelzer from. I know Horace Stelzer. I did work with him years ago. It won one of the top awards in the world. He's a pretty good doctor, I would say. I wouldn't ask him where he does his studies. I just know who he is. That's all you need. If you want to talk about Horace Stelzer, get this book. This just came out. And Tisha had a few of them. They're already all sold out, right? You sold everything. So here's the studies. Here's what I'm trying to do with you all. If you're going to learn about how to position yourself with your teams for next year, you're going to have to learn about how to search. If you tell someone, just search about ERW or Kangen water, and they go to Google, you're in real trouble. Anything that anybody wants to post, any lie, can come to the top. Anybody that has tons of money can force a message to the top, which is completely false. So billion-dollar corporations, if they want to disjoint somebody, can move their level to the top. But in the peer-reviewed Google Scholar perspective, it's peers. So other doctors are reading the same pilot study you guys just saw. This clinical trial is being read, or it wouldn't be number one. To the top? See how it's working? Nobody's buying it. It's being read so often. This is how Google works. It's a search engine. So let's have some more fun. Ready? Let's look for one more. I'm going to take you to an article that's even, to me, more fun, because it's easier to read than that one. Type into Google Scholar, curcumin. I just did this with Bobby just a little while ago. Okay, C-U-R-C-U-M-I-N, curcumin. You're in Google Scholar, right? So don't do it in Google. Google Scholar, type in the word curcumin. Tell me when you're there. Now let's type one more word after it. Curcumin. So this is turmeric. That's the term for turmeric is actually the generic term. Okay. C-U-R. C-U-M-I-N. You have that? Now type in, next to it, next word, let's type in a doctor. C-H-A-N-D-R-A-N. Dr. Chandran. So you have curcumin and you have Chandran. What comes up? Wait a minute, what is that? Didn't you just ask that question earlier? If someone says, how much is too much turmeric? It's in the study. How safe is it? It's in the study. Is this a good study? Let me read it to you guys. This study, I just read it, is 45 patients. Really easy to read for any of you in this room. If you want to sit down and have some fun, 45 patients were chosen by Dr. Chandran and Dr. Joel, and 15 were given just turmeric, 500 milligrams, the exact same that you have in your current case right here. 500 milligrams, which is about 4.5 tablets, am I right? 120 milligrams per tablet? Yep, 600 for 5. 4.5. 500 milligrams. 15 patients were given that. Now what's it for? Rheumatoid arthritis. 15 patients were given a very successful drug. And 15 patients were given the drug and the turmeric. Guess which one won?
Just the turmeric.
Just the turmeric. Are you kidding me? Guys, think about that. If the drug and the turmeric were together, maybe some docs would say that's the win come true. However, that's not what the study showed. Just the turmeric without the drug in a peer-reviewed study online right now on Google Scholar, live, tells you 500 milligrams will reduce inflammation in the joints on 15 patients in a totally randomized trial against the drug that's the most common drug today for arthritis, and it won. It's number one. If the drug and the turmeric together, it doesn't work as well. I'm telling you a lot of things here. Sometimes if you have arthritis, I'm not saying this because the study's there, live. I don't have a disclaimer here. I'm reading this live. You're seeing the same thing. The drug plus the turmeric is not as good as just the turmeric. Interesting, isn't it? Does it make sense? So guys, I'm sharing with you how to position your group if you're going to do studies. And if you're going to do studies, search correctly. So how do we search? Help me out. Okay, so what's another name for Kangen water? HerdX. And if you want to look at some really cool doctors, just look at who's being led to the top of those search engines, and those are the cool dudes, if I can say that. Because if they're at the top, people are reading the same thing you're reading. And that way, if you tell a physician or a medical practitioner, anybody, chiropractors, anybody, dentists, oral surgeons, researchers like myself, go look at Google Scholar, and I look at there, and it's the top article. Guess what? You have my attention, and I'm not afraid of the mint machine now. You see it? Or I'm not afraid of turmeric. These are articles, guys. If you go to Google and do the same thing I just told you, we're going to be here all night trying to figure out what you just opened up. The most ridiculous stuff you've ever read in your life. Now, guys, I'm speaking about this at whose headquarters? Google. So I'm saying this to you. They know Google Scholar is a reviewed, peer-reviewed engine made for professionals, and that's what you guys are. You're professionals. All right?
Yes.
So last thing, I'm sure you want this news. What am I doing up here? I'm here because my wife, she brought a machine home several years ago, and I decided to test it like crazy, not because I didn't trust my wife. It was really expensive. And if you guys heard of my background, I build medical devices. One of the #1 in the world, by the way. And my wife brings a $4,000 machine home, and she didn't really ask me to help her. She just put on the credit card, and I didn't see the bill because she hides those bills, Tony. Now that she's a 6'3", she can hide as many as she wants. It doesn't matter anymore. 6'3"? 6'5".
5, 6, 8, 5.
My wife's a 6'5". Stand up there. Okay, almost there. So here's my point. My wife, just so you all know, is a homeschool mom. I'm winning awards all over the world in big magazines, running around with Sony and some of the BMW guys. And my wife's a homeschool mom. And she brings home a machine, and you just heard today what her level is. She was working 1 day a week because she was raising our son while I'm traveling everywhere. So when I saw the machine at the house, what did I do, Del? I opened that thing up. And I didn't open it up like you guys would open it up. I brought in my award-winning scientist who would have great backgrounds in metallurgy and in biomechanics and in everything you can think of, electronics. One of my guys invented one of the top awards in General Motors for OnStar. He's on my team. These are guys that know what they're doing. So they open the machine up. What are we looking for? We're looking for holes. Because I'm a researcher. And guess what I found out? There are none. This machine is overbuilt. So, saying that to you guys, because I got to get to the point Bobby wants me up here for. Tisha sold a machine to every scientist. All the guys looking for holes, all bought a piece of equipment from her. Every single one. They're all over the world. So all of a sudden she had 12 sales. After getting a machine one night and didn't tell me about it, she's up now 12. Because I'm trying to find holes in it. But I'm not missing it there. I decided to see what else was out there. And we got some of those machines. Are they loaded with holes? Yes, they are. I wouldn't buy a piece of equipment from any company other than Kangen. I guarantee you. All right. So, one bit of information coming out next year, these are information that's coming from our science team, is Kangen use inside of an animal study going on in Kansas. And the reproductive health of our animals are starting to improve at levels we could have never imagined. So that means the water is doing some amazing things in cattle. Is it important for our cattlemen?
Yeah.
It is. Is it important at a time right now where we're trying to talk about how to improve efficiencies in the farming operations? It is. If you look at what Trump's doing and where he spoke, and I also spoke to my congressman about it, we've got to help get our farmers up. So I'm just sharing this with you guys right now. That's my goal, to do that. But your goal, I would promise you, is to get your teams ready. Because as my research comes out, it's going to come out, people are going to start asking, where do I find this equipment? Who do I talk to?
I got one. I got one.
There we go.
7 digits. I got
There we go. So see, there's the 2 hands that went up already. These guys are going to blow this thing apart. Look, you guys have to understand this. Animals are not biased. We saw that dog video earlier. You should see my cattle videos. If you think these animals run the water, look at cattle. So the point is, I'm not out there because I can convince cattle to come to the water. They're just coming. And when people see that and then see white papers published on Google Scholar by our corporation, they're going to start asking, what about my family? And I'm not in that family business, my wife is, but you guys are. So as professionals that search properly, read the information I just showed you on curcumin, right? Or ERW, you're positioned now with your team to go address all these new buyers because they're coming shortly. So thank you guys for your time today.